All right, let's talk about safety wire. You guys are loving safety wire, aren't you? If you're not bleeding, you're not doing it right.
Yes, but you did touch the dog.
Safety wire. All right, so safety wire comes in several sizes. Safety wire sizes. I'm being redundant here, sorry. And then why is that IV? I don't even know. So let's just fix this here. We'll just say this. Safety wire sizes. 1. It comes in 0.020. Oh, this is stainless. S-T-A-I-N-L-E. Stainless. So first of all, it is stainless steel wire. What does stainless steel mean?
Corrosion resistant.
Corrosion resistant. What kind of steel is that?
It's a mixture, isn't it?
It's a mixture. Well, mixture is not the word I want to use. It's an alloy.
Yeah.
So it's steel with a lot of
Additive.
nickel. It's got a lot of nickel in it. Carbon makes it very brittle. So if you got to be careful, carbon. Carbon makes strong but brittle. So all right, O2O. So we have O2O is pretty much the. There's a lot more sizes, but these are. I'm going to give you 3 of the main go-to. You know, if you look at my toolbox, you're going to see 3 cans. And these are the 3 cans that almost every mechanic's going to have. So we have O2O, which is, and I'm going to give you the book definition, all right? And it's just right out of the book, used on items with a hole diameter, abbreviate diameter, of 0.045 to 0.062 with, this is the key right here, with spacing less than 2 inches. In other words, apart, I'll put apart, A-P-A-R. So if your screws are less than 2 inches and they have holes drilled in them that are between these right here, less than 2 inches, you could use O2O. Okay, the next one is O32. O32 is your, I'll put this most common. It's your go-to pretty much for 99% of what you do. O32 is going to be fantastic. The book says for hole diameter larger than 0.045. And I'm going to add this because I'm going to say over 2 inches apart. Now do notice this is not an error. Hole diameter of 0.045 to 0.062, and this said hole diameter larger than 0.045. Well, guess what? 0.062 is larger than 0.045, so that makes little or no sense, doesn't it? Because, anyway, if you can see that, hopefully. But it's over 2 inches apart, so that's what we're going to do. So, almost always I'm just going to grab my O32. I'm going to use O2O on little screws and small parts. Otherwise, I'm going O32. And if I don't use O32, I may have to go, I'm going to lump these together, O40 and 0.041. Yes, there really is a difference. And the reason, not the reason why, I don't know why the reason why is, but they actually make O40 and O41. And this is almost always going to be used on propellers if you're in general aviation. T-Y-P-I-C. Typically used on prop bolts. Don't know why that started that way, but it just is. One manufacturer, and I forget which one off the top of my head, like McCauley, says, oh, we want you to use O40. And Hartzell says, oh, no, we want you to use O41. So, and I could have that backwards. It doesn't matter. So I don't buy a can of O40 and a can of O41. I buy a can of O41 because both manufacturers will let you, so whichever one says use O40 or bigger, well, O41 is bigger. So it meets the specs for both. And that's the way I look at it. So I'm doing fine there. So those are the 3 most common types. The stuff you're using in lab is going to be O32. All right, so I have 020, 032, 040, 041. And what is it made out of? Stainless steel. Okay. In addition to this, to the stainless steel, they also make another type, which is lightweight. Lightweight aluminum. Never actually seen this myself. Copper or brass. I see the copper or brass. I'm not sure. It's just a gold color. And this is only used on emergency equipment.
Like shear wire?
Yep, equipment. Where wire must be broken. Yeah.
What was the third type of wire?
040 or 041. I put it together. Where wire must be broke by hand. Wire must be broken by hand. There's actually a little more to that than just emergency equipment, or it's equipment that must not be inadvertently energized. But basically, you'll see sometimes in cockpit switches that are actually safety wired. They don't twist it, by the way. It's just one simple strand. Don't twist it, make it hard. But one simple strand on a cover. You lift the cover, you break it, you flip the switch. You may see something like that on a fire extinguisher, on an escape chute, something where in an emergency it needs to be broken and deployed, but at the same time you want a piece of wire on there so that, I guess, Zeus sees a red dot, he won't pull on it, or kids won't yank it, or somebody before they deploy that are going to look at it and go, wait a minute, this is wired. I wonder if I should actually do this. All right. So used only on emergency equipment. All right, how to safety. How to safety. It's really hard to write how to safety, so I'm just going to give you some rules, guidelines, instructions. So safety wire is twisted. Safety wire is twisted at a rate of 6 to 8, not 68, twists per inch. Twists per inch. How would I know if I have 6 to 8 twists per inch? Rich is like, measure it. Well, he's right. You take a ruler and you put it against the safety wire and you look at 1 inch and you count how many twists you have. Because some of you guys will twist something and you'll give it, is this okay? I'm like, well, did you measure it? I can tell you didn't, because there's like 37 twists per inch. So that's too much. You can use a single strand in some cases. Some cases allow for single strand. Means you don't have to twist it at all. Just run everything through all the screws. And that's really for smaller screws, things that are close together. But when you do safety, you should loop the wire around the bolt head. Around the bolt head. B-O-L-T, bolt head. Not over. When you are doing a castellated nut, you actually do go over. Wire should pull the bolt tight. Should pull it tight. But we say there are 3 types of safeties. So 3 types. 3 types of, I'm going to say pull. So we have the positive. And if you have a positive pull, you're doing what I just said. The wire should pull the bolt tight. So positive pulls tight. We have a neutral, which has no pull. It doesn't pull the nut or bolt, I should say bolt, loose or tight. It's just there. And then negative. Pulls bolt loose. Which one do you think is the best?
Positive.
Positive is best. Neutral is acceptable. And negative is
Bad.
bad. All right. A couple more rules here. Do not over twist. And then untwist. In other words, you're twisting your wire, twisting it to get to hold it. Like, oops, went a little bit too far. I'll just undo those twists. Yeah, I can see that. Do not adjust bolt to make wire tight. We laugh, but I know mechanics who have done that. Are you kidding me? Let's see what else. Wire should be, so we have a positive here. Wire should be tight. You need to cut the pigtail. What's the pigtail? That's the end. Cut pigtail with enough length to properly bend the wire, and I'm going to call hide, and hide the sharp end. That's very important. If you leave a pigtail out in an airplane and I get poked with it, I'm going to come looking for you. Yeah?
For part 5, you said do not over twist and then untwist.
Yep.
What's the reason behind that?
I don't really know what the reason is behind it. I think it puts kinks in the wire to begin with, which means that you have slack there. So if it pulls hard enough, there's slack. I don't really know what the reason. It really looks bad and looks unprofessional. I know that. I don't really know the actual who said, well, if you do that, this is going to be a failure, what the failure is.
Wouldn't it ruin the integrity kind of it?
I think it ruins the integrity of it, yeah. Never reuse safety wire. Once you've used it, you're done. Unless you anneal it. That's a joke. Don't anneal it. See, this is IX. Wait a minute. I have no idea. I lost track. Length probably. Oh, that's it. VII, so that'd be X. And then this would have to be XI. And then this would be XII, I think. 12. Let me see. You guys are learning to do it by hand. I'm not going to write this. Well, I might as well. I never know when safetying, when I'll use using wire inside an engine, twist by hand, and leave no tool marks.
No.
Tool marks. So what I mean by that is if you use pliers or something on the wire, it actually puts what we call stress risers in there. So if you looked at it microscopically, you have your wire like that, and then you crimp it with a pair of pliers, it's actually going to put little stressors in there. And guess where it's going to break? Right about there. And then if you're inside of an engine, it's going to break off, and a piece of wire, especially the pigtail, will fall right down to go into the oil sump, picks it up through the oil pump, goes in the oil pump, destroys the oil pump, and spits it into the oil filter, probably, at least at that point. But then you scratch the oil pump, and now you have a loss of oil pump. So it's really, really bad. So don't do that. So when using wire on the inside of an engine, I only twist by hand and don't leave any tool marks. Outside of an engine, in most places, then you can use the pliers. It doesn't matter. Everybody uses them. That's okay. But given those rules, sometimes it's easier just to kind of look at some safety wire and discuss what's wrong with it. So with that in mind, let's look at some safety wire. Okay, so this is out of 4313. These are do's. So what is right about this? Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Everybody understands righty-tighty, lefty-loosey? Okay, this wire went through. Did it go over the head?
No.
Nope, went around the head. Like I said, it is pulling this way, which means this is going tight. And it's pulling this one tight. And the loop here, how much should this loop actually be? Does anybody know what the book says?
6 to 7
It says 6 to 8 twists, I believe, which is roughly, yeah. It says half inch is a little too short, so I go about 3/4 of an inch. So this is good. It's pulling it tight, just like they're all pulling it tight here. Notice here the castellated nut, it went over the top. You should go over the top of castellated nuts. It is really difficult to run it through here because they're rounded and it never works. So castellated nuts over the top. I'm going to have you guys only do groups of 2, but if you do a group of 3, I want you to notice something. If I break this safety wire here and ignore all of this, is this pulling it tight?
Nope.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yep, that one's being pulled tight and that one's being pulled tight. All right, now let's turn it around. If I break the wire here, is this being pulled tight?
No.
Yeah.
Yep, and this being pulled tight?
Yeah.
So when you do groups, multiple groups, you always have to look at it. If I break the wire and it just becomes 2, is it still pulling it tight? When people do 3, they often don't. They get going tight one way and loose the other way. It's got to be tight and tight both ways. So, all right, castellated nut over the top, over the top. What kind of pull is this?
Neutral.
Neutral, is that acceptable?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so we got tight and tight. All right, so we got... That just represents a single strand, but notice that it's still pulling tight. But you're not going to be doing single strands in here. This is the only picture I hate, castle nuts, because this actually shows it going around, and don't go around. All right, now we get to have some fun. You see that? You want to hit the lights back there so everybody can see this. If you want to go to sleep, that's okay. I won't say anything. This is the naughty list. Let's start here. What is wrong with this?
Pigtails
Pigtails.
not tucked.
Okay, pigtail's not tucked. 1, 2, 3 violations. -3. What happened here? Why is that funny looking? Untwisted it. All right.
Curve.
All right, so untwisted it. We come down here. Well, that's at least pulling it tight, and that's pulling it tight. Didn't bury that. I can't see a whole lot here. Oh, this right here, that's just atrocious because what they have going on here, do not do this. The wire's coming through here. It's coming around here, here, and then they start twisting there. What the heck is that? So it's either got to start at this hole or start at, well, don't start at this hole. They'll be pulling it the wrong way. So it's got to start over here at this hole. So it's just this loop and in the middle. What the heck is that? I don't know. It's right here. They did the same thing here. So you got this yoke thing going on here.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
So
Yeah.
on that second one there, you said you see how it's starting in the middle. Like you said, not to start on the left side, but what if you had it loop up and over the other?
You want to start here and go all the way around?
I mean, preferably not to, but
I would say no. And the reason why is because you'll notice that nice safety wire does not rub against other safety wire. So if I start it here and twist it around this way, I have some coming through. It's going to double up right there. You're going to have a double up spot right there, and you don't want that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Again,
Oh,
this
that's perfect.
is not acceptable. It's got to start over here. Well, not to mention, a straight line would be over here. So, actually, it would not go there. Sorry, I just did the wrong thing. So, can I erase that? No, I can't. Erase. There we go. It's got to pull tight. So, it should go from this spot, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So, it turns this way, right? So, it should start here and go over to here. I don't know what that is. That's just horrible. You see that? I hope so.
But
Okay.
He obviously wasn't from this school. Well,
These I
hope-
stole
hope-
off the
I
internet.
hope not.
Most of these I stole off the internet. Okay.
What is that?
There's a bolt on the back side of this. And so, I don't know. I think, first of all, that sticking up is probably what really irritates me the most. Other than the fact that this is just wrapped around here and it's just going to slide down and serve no purpose. So, there's just so many things wrong with that. That's just a mess. I don't, it's 3. They did 3, but it comes from here, comes around, goes through here. They tried to make a positive pull, but then they just went over the top here, which doesn't make any sense, and back over to here. And which way, let me see, righty-tighty, Lefty loosey. Is it going loosening or tightening?
I'd be loosening the third one.
Oops, I just made the same thing arrow twice. So it's going this way. Sorry, it's getting late. So that is loosening that. So, all right. Hopefully you're seeing. Anybody recognize this plate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who has this one?
I had
All right. Was this you?
no.
Okay. So I don't remember exactly, but I remember a student actually bringing this to me saying, "Is this good enough, Kev? Is this good enough, boss?" And I said, "Oh my God, I've got to take a picture of this. This is awesome." And I said, "You do realize that this is not a good picture I'm taking. This is not because it's so perfect." So I think we've got a sharp point. It's just, where do you begin? Okay, this is at least going tight, but and that's going tight, but that's not tight. And then you've got something coming out here and over here. I hate that. And then a weird twist here. I don't know what this is, but you don't have a twist come here and then a twist go there. The twists come in this way and go out the other side. So, yeah, see, it's all rubbing each other there. This is an embarrassment. And so please don't make me take a picture of your project and put it up on here. This is just cool. And I don't know how this happened, but I think it's awesome.
They braided it.
They braided it. I did have a student. I'm like, I don't know how I still cannot figure this out, but I had a student do it for me. Go, there, it can't be done. I'm like, dude, how'd you do it? He's like, so I don't know, because it takes 3 pieces to do it. So I don't know where the third.
Just braiding it.
But where'd the third piece come in?
Do you know how a braid works?
It's 3 pieces, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you get 3 pieces? Where's the third piece? You should have to loop it right here, right? And then go through. Well, you can do it. You can show me how cool you are. You can braid one. Okay, braiding is not really acceptable, but at the same point, I mean, come on, that's pretty cool.
That is
All right.
yeah.
Well, this looks nice. Okay, we have 6 to 8 twists per inch. Pigtail's a little short, but it doesn't look anything wrong with this one. Is this a good example or a bad example? Why is it bad?
It's the same goal.
Well, no, okay, right here, this is what you do if you don't want to cut safety wire to get the bolt off. Because notice, this is the same nut. It goes through this hole and goes to here. It's the same nut. So what is it safetying? Itself. All right? It's supposed to go through this hole up here. So even if your safety wire is really cool, make sure it actually has a function.
Oh.
That's a damper.
Yeah, it's a damper assembly. Okay, this is allowed to crisscross, and I can show some of you. That's kind of loose and disgusting. I don't know. It's just not great. I think it's kind of doing the job. I don't know. Yeah, notice how they do have spaghetti tubing here to protect the component. So they kind of tried, and I found on the internet. I'm like, whatever. I don't know. Can you figure out what's wrong with this one? Okay, here's the safety wire.
Oh, it's not twisted.
It's not
There's
twisted.
tool marks in it.
Tool marks in it. That's bad enough, but you know what this hole is for? That's where the bolt goes.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need a bolt with some sort of relief put in it. So
That's kind of funny.
yeah, yeah, pigtail's beautiful. Got a safety, boss. Let's see this one here.
I was the loose
Negative
man.
and negative.
Negative and
Negative.
negative. You can't do that. What is it wrong with this one? I forget. Also negative. This bolt is tightened this way up against here. So it's pulling it loose.
It's also safety cable.
Yeah, it's safety cable, but you get the idea. I had to write this one in because I'm like, what?
Too bad about the electrical.
I'm like looking at it. I'm like, this is actually really nice with safety cable with these ends, but like it's really nice. It comes through. It's pulling it tight. You got everything looking great. What's wrong with it? Oh, they pinched all the wires underneath this part, coming through here and just smashed all the wires. So
Yeah, as soon as they bolted it on.
so you're gonna have to fly around holding the circuit breaker in. Otherwise, the component won't work. Good. I'm glad you liked that joke. Okay. Okay. So the pigtail might be excessively long. That's good. What the hell is this?
He was trying to brain.
Yeah, this. All right, that's just don't be these people. I will take a picture. I don't know. This isn't a very good picture. I can't really tell what's going on. I think it's just because it's a negative pole right there. Oh, that's what it is. You've totally missed the holes here. Just put it here and wrap it down there. And, all right.
Duct tape.
Nice.
All right. The wrench size. Okay. Wrench size is not the bolt size. Bolts are installed with the head facing up. So when you bolt something in an aircraft and you have a hole, the bolt always goes this way. Or forward. So you think about it. Gravity holds it in. Air pressure holds it in. And then they go for the outside in. I don't know how to tell you anything. How they figure that out. But I figure if nothing else, it kind of makes like a little winglet out at the end. So I don't know. Bolts go this way. Yeah, you can turn lights on. So they go that way. Also, the wrench size is not the bolt size. And do not use self-locking nuts in areas where the loss of nut can result in an engine failure, turbine engine end. Can't remember anything else. And some of you might be on your way to this. Remember that the wrench size is not the bolt size.
So, question about.
If it better not be if the wrench size. Yeah.
So 6 to 8 twists, but there was one that it was tight in the beginning, and then it got loose at the end.
You can't average.
So is that acceptable?
Don't average. It can't. Not any part of it cannot exceed 6 to 8 twists per inch. Because what happens if you tight it too tight, the wire will crack there and break off.
Okay, because I had on that picture that you said it was okay, but it was loose. It was tight, but then loose. But it had the 6 to 8.
Well, it's hard to. What do you mean by tight? Was it pull tight or?
No. The twist.
Yeah.
That the twists were
Too many
real
twists?
Tight in the,
Too many twists?
No, it didn't have too many twists. It's just that it was real tight in the beginning of it, but then it got loose.
One of the pictures I had?
Yeah, it was one of the pictures that she had up there.
Tell me when. That was the first one.
It was one of the ones that you said that this looked okay, but
Nothing okay about that one.
yeah, that one.
This one?
No,
This one.
yeah, that one. You see how it's tight at the bottom and then it loosens up at the top.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. There's 6 to 8 twists all the way through there. Yeah, remember this is a close-up picture, so that little space right there is really not much at all.
Oh, okay.
That's not much. Do you guys appreciate the joke?
Yes.
Well, my coworker C-clamp, he got mad at me. It's a calibrated C-clamp. I guess that was it. All right, so what else do I have to cover here?